Hey, coach. Ready when you are.
All right. Thanks, Charlie.
You got it.
Yeah, if we can get rolling. I know many of you have been asking about the thought process of Jayden being in the game in that situation. I get that. I've been thinking about it honestly nonstop too. And, for me, the answer is, man, I missed it. But I would, I'll fill you in on my thought process. Um, at the start of the fourth quarter, I guess it was probably like 12 and a half minutes left in the game. And that was going to be the last drive for a couple of guys, Jayden and Zach and Debo and LT. And so we're going to have any read run plays and meaning no carries, for the quarterback on a run. And honestly, man, that's where I missed it. Of course, he could scramble. It's Jayden. It's what he's special at. And that is 100% that's on me. And I also said last night in the presser to our fans that, man, did we miss our mark as a team. And with that performance, we need to fix it. They created an awesome environment, at the stadium for the game, and that fix needs to be done now. So just wanted to open up with that and get started. I'll also give you some other injury news. Confirm Jayden dislocated his left elbow. No timetable on that right now. Still gathering the information. Marshawn had an MRI today and confirmed an ACL injury for him. So that will knock him out for the season. And Luke fractured his collarbone. Still working through the timetable for that, but that'll definitely knock him out for a while. So tough night on the injury front. All three of these guys are absolutely elite competitors, and they mean a ton to our team for their play style and what they represent. So all that said, we can get rocking with you guys, but I felt it's important to fill you in on the beginning with Jayden and thought processes and missing it. And that's me. So let's get it rolling.
Go ahead, John.
One, first, a two-part. Does Jayden need surgery? And two, what brought you to that realization? Like, when did that hit you? Was it driving home? Was it watching the film again? Why did you come to that realization that maybe you should have taken him out?
Yeah, the hindsight part is the hardest one. That's what I think about all night and nonstop. When you have chances and you look back to say, man, like, how do you do this differently, so this doesn't happen. And, 12 and a half, minutes, I thought, okay, this is the, last drive for them and what we'll do. And so just missed it, John. Honestly, there's no other reason behind that, and just mad, upset, all those things. And then as far as timetables for Jayden, they're still gathering the last little bit of information and should have maybe a further update as the week continues with him.
And then two, the defensive struggles have continued for a while. You said you'll look at everything. Are you at the point now where you're considering any changes with your defensive staff at all?
No.
Why or why not?
I was honestly, the three TDs that just burned me up. On the second TD was like a 3rd and 8. We doubled Smith and Jigba. We got beaten man to man by a different player. The 3rd TD was the first play after a fumble on a kickoff return. I believe it was right around 25, 26-yard line. It was man-to-man on a seam route, so those weren't confusing calls. And the toughest of all was a cover 3, the 4th TD. The quarterback got, caught up on a run fake, ball over top. We also missed a tackle on that play. So the executing, man, John, it's players, it's coaches, it's all of us, man. And we're capable of playing these calls and playing them better. And I'm certain of it. My belief in the players is high, and the staff is high. We got to get this job done, man. It was extremely frustrating, and we're gonna look at everything, man, to make sure, like, whatever we need to do to play our best. We're gonna find a way to do that.
Nikki.
Hi, Dan. As regards to the pass rush, I know that was a struggle, especially last night.
Yes.
Given all the injuries, I know you guys don't want to use that as an excuse, but it's to the point now of, how do you fix that with the people you have? Do you expect changes in personnel with the deadline coming up?
Adam and I would stay in, constant communication regarding, changes and that type of thing as it goes to the roster. We'll also have, some IR spots, that are going to be, they're moving ahead just based on the roster, what happened last night. And we're going to dig in hard technique, just kind of find the edges, Nikki, and like those are the margins to try to get better at, whether it's a defensive end rushing better, a defensive tackle, the blitz package to do it. Because you know it and I know it. You have to be able to disrupt the QB. You just have to. And it's not only one way to do it, but we're going to find those margins to improve upon it for sure.
Mhm. And then with Jayden, I know you're still gathering information, but do you leave open the possibility that he could return this season? And did he suffer any fractures at all with the dislocation?
Nope, just the dislocation. So that was a good space. And like I said, I'll have a little bit more once they do like all the final, checkups and opinions and that type. But by Wednesday, Thursday, I'm sure I'll be able to update that a little bit further once, other opinions and those things are there. But it'll knock them out for a while for sure.
Tom?
Dan, I hate to ask a hypothetical question, but depending on the team's record, even if Jayden is healthy enough to return later in the season, can you foresee any situation where the team would hold him out, even if he's healthy enough to play?
Yeah. I hate that you went hypothetical too. You didn't have to. I haven't even gotten there, Tom, honestly, dude. Yeah, that's a way down the line space to get into. Kind of really worried about this weekend to go. So we haven't discussed any of that. We haven't had any topics on that at all.
More short-term question. Can you provide any update on Terry, and does the bye week coming up and the Madrid trip, does that kind of change how you're going to proceed with him at all?
Yeah. We haven't gotten all the medical stuff, obviously, just with everything last night, but I don't foresee, him making it in for this weekend. And that definitely has an effect on it, Tom, of when that return to play could be. And, knowing that it's game by, that definitely has an effect. But we don't have a timetable that I can give you today about where it's at. But I would say it'd be unlikely, heading into where we're at. But I think I can give you more update on him in 2 or 3 days.
David Aldridge?
Dan, just housekeeping on the quarterback. I assume Josh is up and now Sam's the third. There won't be any. Will there be anybody else brought in at this point?
No, Dave, not at this point. No.
The injuries that you have across both lines of scrimmage and now on teams, I mean, does that fundamentally limit you in some of the things that you can do now going forward?
It does. And you've heard me probably say that before. There's, a lot of ways that you have to go try to win the game. And so you may have to maneuver that differently. That's accurate, based on how to, feature the best way to go about winning. And it may not look the same exactly every week, but I do think there's a way. Hey, you got 6 days. This is where we're at, and this is our best way to go attack it and go win. And we'll need to do that for sure.
JP?
Hey, Dan, I know you said no changes coming on the defensive staff, but what about moving guys around, maybe bringing Joe Witt down to the field? Any of that under consideration?
Yeah, you might have some insider scoop going on there, JP. We are going to do that. And so Joe will move down from the press box onto the field this week. And we're going to dig in hard on changes we can make, to make an impact and make a difference. And that's one that we will do.
What are the possible advantages? How does that help?
The advantages, Joe's, obviously an excellent communicator and teacher. And so when a play comes in and you need to go get it corrected right away, you can, get right to it. And when the advantage of seeing the game from the highest point, JP, especially on the defensive side, it gives you, a specific vision of a route and things to go, and you can be ahead of it. That's the advantage of it. And so for him being down on the field, we just felt like it's a change that needs to be made and, get into that space. And, may not be forever, but that's what we need at the moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Scott?
Hey, Dan, we obviously hear and see the remorse from you with what happened with Jayden. Curious if you had a conversation with Jayden yet today, and what were those words like? What was that conversation like if you did speak with Jayden?
Yep. I spoke to get a chance to visit him last night, post game, and again today. And just, we have a good relationship, Scott, honestly, just to talk through the game, things, the highs and lows, like all of it. And it's just nice to know you have honest conversations where we're at, what we need to do. And yeah, but it's something that we would do on a regular basis for sure.
And the last 3 games, Dan, you guys have lost by at least 21 points. From your perspective, I mean, what is that like? I mean, I know you're a competitor, so losing 3 straight games by at least 21 points, what is that like from your eyes?
Yeah, it's difficult, Scott, for sure. And that's what, talking to the team about today, we're not staying on this trajectory, but it is where we are. And that's what the record is. And that's what the facts tell us. But I also know, like, we got a lot of smart, tough, players, coaches to get together to fix that so that doesn't happen. Like I said, we got 6 days and fun ass NFC matchup here at home, and we've got to come up with better solutions, better things that we need to do to play at our best. So everybody's upset, frustrated, mad, like all the emotions that you would think. And how do we channel that, to play better and to find things? Because what we're currently doing isn't hitting the marks. And so we don't want to stay doing that. So here's the adjustments and the changes that we'll make, whether that's personnel, moving around coaches, like honestly, we're like ready to dig in and find any answer that can take us to that spot.
Thank you.
Deshaun?
Dan, I know, not last year obviously didn't happen, but in your past as a head coach, you've led teams that weren't having the best season or may not be having the season that they expected. In those moments as a head coach, how do you ensure that, you don't have situations where guys may be, checking out just because things aren't going your way?
Yeah, I think that's when you got to lean in the hardest, Deshaun. During the best of spaces, that's when standards and things, are pretty easy to follow. It's in the hardest spaces that you're able to lean in on it. And we're fortunate about the group that is here, what they stand for. And being in the team meeting today, it's hard, man. But we're also the ones that got into it, and we're the same ones who are going to get out of it. And you got to own all of it, man. That's really where we start. Like, you own it. This is not a spot to, place blame. It's a spot of, how to fix it. And so that's what we lean in on the hardest. And yeah, we know we're capable of doing that, but you just dig in one at a time, man. As cliche as it sounds, you just absolutely go for it for the next moment in the next game.
All right, we got time for 2 more. Let's go Ben and then Candy.
Hey, Dan, I know it was sort of weird circumstances that put Josh Harris on the sideline with you guys last night. Did you guys have a chance to talk with him about Jayden or where you guys are as a team after the game?
Yeah, we visit together before every game and after every game. So yeah, that's a normal process for us.
And I get you're still focused on this season, what you guys can do to turn this around. Based on where you guys are, though, does it give you any thought of leaning more into youth when there's a decision to be made about who's playing or who's not?
Yeah, I think it leans into like performance, Ben, really, that's where we're at, and let's make sure we find the right spots, find the right answers. That's our job, to make sure we can fix the problems that come up and lean into whatever that performance looks like, and to make sure, like, man, we don't live in that space again. So I get the question where you're at, but it pushes further into doing it right, finding the right spots, putting the guys in the right locations. If we do that more, Ben, then that goes a long way to playing a hell of a lot better.
Hey, Coach. I kind of have a 2-part question. I'm going to try to put it in one.
Okay.
Last season, we consistently heard anybody, anywhere, anytime. We consistently heard the ball is life, all of the mottos, all of the things that really then would show up on game day. And then you kind of move forward to this season. I distinctly remember that preseason game against New England, and you were pissed. And we've seen you pissed a lot. So what do you think is just, I guess if it was one thing, you would nail that, as you've shared with us before. But are those sayings and those mottos, while it may feel small, are they still being shared and kind of just a part of you all's identity all throughout the building, all throughout meetings and all of that?
Yeah. And I get what you're saying for sure. That and it's really the competition, Kenny. That's up at the very front of it. And like, why we love that so much, and why do we build our lives around it? Because we love that fight and that struggle and what it is. And so when it doesn't line up like you like it, man, you're pissed and you want to work your ass off to try to get it to that spot. So yes, we still talk into those same spaces. The inconsistency that we've performed with would lead you to believe that we haven't, but that is really more philosophical, to make sure these are some really important tenets of our program, the competition part, on the ball. And so those are things that, yeah, we absolutely hit in weekly, daily, all of it. But the competition piece, that's always front and center, and why it's so damn important to us to have that. And like I said, build our lives around this competition, and why we need it, and the fight and the struggle, and why we love that so much. So when we miss it, we acknowledge it, and it sucks, and that's where you are, and you fight your ass off to get out of it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Can I real quick of the injuries? Will Harris, are you expecting him to return soon?
Yeah, we don't have a timeline, but he's definitely doing well. And we expect if he keeps making progress that, we'll see where it goes. It's not this week, but he's definitely hitting all the right markers, Nikki. So we'll see where it takes him, but he's off to a hell of a start with the rehab for sure.
Great. Thanks.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.